trust me, this is going to be the most useful function in entire bucket of DEX functions. The most useful one. I'm going to talk about how to calculate or perform calculation based on certain condition. Guys, condition comes in every now and then, and that is the reason I'm telling you that this is going to be most useful. I know you may be correlating it with an if condition. It is actually related to if, but it's not going to be an if function. That we have already covered. This is something that we have to perform calculation. We don't need a status after writing the function. If gives us an status, and function gives us an status, or function gives us a status. So that we are not looking for. We are looking for the calculation based on the condition. If you have ever used function like SUMIF, COUNTIF, AVERAGEIF in Excel, this is what I'm talking about. But we don't have those functions with us in Power BI. We have one single function for all such functions that is known as calculate. Yes, calculate is something that we are going to use. And the moment you learn this, you will notice that we're going to use a lot many times in the subsequent videos. Okay, so I have a couple of conditions I'm going to talk about. Suppose I need to count the total number of orders for the clothing category, clothing product category, how many total number of orders we got. So in general, if I say total number of orders we have received for clothing, in total number of orders we have received for entire categories, then it will be the sum. But I'm looking for only for the clothing, right? Clothing category. So let me just go back and let me insert a card over here. Let me show you how it looks like. This is 1, 2, 3, which is mentioned over here. It's a card. I am going to insert that got converted. So it's okay. It got converted into a card. So it's absolutely fine. So these are the number of products, but I'm looking for the orders, right? So let me see, do we have the number of orders with us? We don't have the number of orders. So first of all, we have to calculate the number of orders. Then we're going to apply the condition that it should belong to clothing, right? So as I mentioned earlier, if you remember, anytime you need to create some measures, always try to create as many measures as you can, because it's not going to take any space. And do not avoid creating the measure and you think that, okay, we are going to nest them. If you try to do so later on, when you want to create some nested DEX function, it will become much harder for you. It will become very tough for you to use them, to edit them and all such things. So better, first let me just create a measure that will ease the further calculation, and that is going to be the total number of orders. Okay, so over here I would say earlier we calculated total order quantity, right? So I'm talking about total number of orders. Total number of orders. And you remember in just previous video we discussed about the count. So again we have to use the count. Let me tell you about the data. Orders are where that is available into the sales table. But in the sales table, one order number has been mentioned many times. Why? Because suppose if you come to my store and if you bought 10 items, right? So the order number will remain same, but it has been listed 10 times. One row dedicated to each product. So that is the reason in our sales table, one order number is mentioned many times. So what I can do, I'm going to use another function related to count. You may have noticed we discussed about distinct count also, theoretically but not practically. It was distinct count. It means counting the unique values. Distinct count of the order number. Here it is. Distinct count of the order number will give us the total number of orders, unique orders basically. So let me just bring it into the card here. And you will see that this is 25,000. And if I go to the format, because I don't want 25K, it is not giving us the, elaborated figure. So let me just go to the data label, and I don't want to go with the display unit as auto. I'll go with none. So it will give me the exact figure, which is 25,164 total number of orders we have. But the actual question is what? The actual question is that we need to count the total number of orders which only belongs to clothing category. Now this is why we are here into this video. Okay, I'm going to talk about that one function which is calculate. Remember, I've told you this is the substitute of sum if, count if, average if kind of conditions, and this is very simple function, yet the most powerful function in Power BI. I am going to add a new measure here, and I'll simply say let's say clothing orders, right? Clothing orders is equals to, I can't use if over here because if will just give me a status. I'm not looking for a status. I'm looking for a calculation. So what I'll be doing is I'll say calculate, right? Look at that. Evaluates an expression in a context modified by the filters. Filters means the condition, right? Expression means what? The calculation that you are looking for. So let me just open it up to show you the arguments. It says expression, comma, filter 1, comma, filter 2, comma, filter 3, comma, filter 4, and so on and so forth. So first of all, let us understand what an expression is all about. Expression stands for the calculation that you are looking for. What kind of calculation we are looking for? We are looking for total number of orders, right? That belongs to clothing. So first of all, expression is actually the total number of orders. That is the reason I've just calculated the same prior to this calculation, right? So total number of orders, number one, and you can see it's a measure. That is why I can able to use it over here, comma. Then what is going to be the filter? Filter is the category name should be clothing. So I would say category name is equals to double quotes clothing, double quotes, right? I'll close down the bracket and enter. So it will be applying this condition onto clothing. I will simply come over here and drag it and drop it over here into the let me just convert it into multi-row card so that we can put multiple values. So you'll be able to compare it, and let me put it into the focus mode. So these were the total number of orders. Let us see for the clothing one, and clothing is 6976 orders, right? So this is very interesting. Total number of orders that we have received for the clothing category, this is 6976. Let me show you the function once again. It's going to be calculate, and then what you need to calculate, which is total number of orders, and then category name should be clothing. Do not worry about it. I'm going to show you a couple of more examples because this is one of the most important function. So I have another condition with me to calculate the total number of weekend orders. Okay. You remember in the data view earlier in the calendar table, we created a column in the name of weekend. So I need to know that how many yeses are there. So for this, I'll create one more measure. And the purpose of this measure is to know that how many orders we have received on weekends. That is the purpose. So I would say weekend orders, right? And I'll say again calculate, right? Expression is again the total number of orders. That is what we need to calculate. So you have to have the calculation with you already so that you can use it directly over here. Okay, sum of that column, count of that column, whatever it is. So total number of orders. Filter is supposed to be where weekend is equals to yes. So I'll say weekend is equals to yes. I'll close down the bracket, enter, and this will tell me the total number of orders we have received on weekend. So I'll simply drag and drop it to show you that how it looked like and what should be the number. 7039. So there are over 7,000 orders that we have received on weekends, and if you see, it is out of 25,000 orders. So it will be better if I show it in a pie chart or something where we can see the contribution. There it will become easier that we'll know that how much percentage of orders we are receiving on weekend and how much percentage on weekdays. So in that case, it will become easier for us to make some informed decision, right? whether we have to keep more stuff on weekends or not, or on which day of the week we have to keep the stock ready, because people are buying that kind of products on these days of the week. So that's how we can analyze this data, and that is why we are using this BI tool, right? I have one more condition example for you, that number of high price point products. Number of high price point products. Now, what is this? If you remember, again, I'll take you to the data view, and let me just go to the products table, and here we created one extra column in the name of price point. Here it is, right? So we need to know the total number of products that belongs to high price point, total number of products. So now you know that, one second, I think we have already created the total number of products. Here it is. We're going to use this into the calculate function, and we're going to put the condition where price point is supposed to be high. So if you want, for the practice purposes, you can simply pause the video right now. You can try it yourself. If you couldn't able to do it, just resume the video and see that, okay, how you can able to do it. Now I'll create a measure. I am just carrying it forward now, creating a measure where I'm going to say, right, so high price point products, right? So here we're going to say calculate, the same thing. Expression is going to be that how many number of products. So the moment I'll search for the products, I can see that the number of products is coming in the list of all the DEX functions, and it is actually not a function, it is a measure, right? Which is with a calculator icon it is coming. So I'll simply select the number of products, comma, and then filter. Filter is going to be what? Filter is supposed to be that price point, right? The price point, here it is, that we calculated is supposed to be high. I'll double quotes, I'll close down the parenthesis, enter. So we're going to know that how many number of products we have in total. Let me drop it over here into the visual. So it says there are 79 products which are high point, and let me see the total number of products also. So I think it was 293. So out of almost 300 products, there are 80 products which are high price point products, right? So I hope with these three examples, you could able to easily understand how to use the calculate function. I would recommend you to just go through with this video once again. If not, at least practice it. Just try to delete those measures, rebuild yourself, so that you will be able to have a good hands-on onto the scene. Thank you so much.